Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome to Energize to Rise. This is your weekly 10-minute action plan for growth. Officially, we start in 1 minute, but we're going to get going now because it is Monday. You've got a lot to do, and I'm here to give you ideas and action steps to help you rise all week long. Now, if you have been joining me the last few weeks on Mondays, you know that we always go for that one top priority of the week. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be a whole bunch of other things that you're going to do all week, and there's not going to be squirrels and fires that you have to put out. But we really want to get clear on the things that really make a difference for your biggest goals, because we all have those. I have 4 buckets of goals and aspirations that I have personally and professionally. And I always make sure that everything that I decide to do ladders up to those 4 big buckets. Last week, I started going off the rails with some squirrel stuff and realized when I started to look at the squirrels that they actually did ladder up to one of those 4 buckets. So I just moved some priorities around and said, you know what, this actually makes more sense. It's lower hanging fruit, and it's something that can actually happen right now to move me forward. So we always have to be willing to adjust and flow, but also be really aware of those things that come at us, our triggers, the squirrels and the fires, to ensure that they aren't pulling us from our most important tasks. So as we kick off this week's Energize to Rise, I want you to think about where you're at in your life and in your work and with the goals and aspirations you have. What are the things that you really want to accomplish that maybe you've been stuck on? We're entering Q4 this week. The end of the year is here, 2025. 2025 is sneaking up on us. What would really feel good to finish and complete over the next 3 months? Really think about it, because oftentimes we have things that we really want, but we're not willing to take the actions or make the sacrifices to make it happen. So be really honest with yourself. What is that one thing that, yeah, it would feel good, but you're also willing to take the steps to do it? So as you're thinking about that and reflecting, I want to just remind you of why we're here, because I really felt like there was a missing link in people's goals and what they're actually willing to do. And that's really the accountability piece of it. So that's why I'm here every Monday, giving you an action step for the week, plus giving you an energy hack from my flow formula. Now, for those of you that have seen me speak, you know about my 7 energies. For those of you that have watched this the last few weeks since I started, you've heard me talk about that, but I'll give you, for all the new people, we actually doubled the attendance this week, so I was pretty excited about that. The flow formula is these 7 energies that really drive my 7 energies of results framework, whether it's for leadership, for sales, or goal setting, for parenting, whatever it happens to be. The 7 energies are vision energy, which is the aspiration, the big goal, the purpose. What is it that you really want for your life, whether it's by the end of today or whether it's 50 years from now? Once you have your vision energy clear, then your strategy energy comes into play. And that's the plan. That's the resources, the skills, the tools, everything that you need to tap into to ensure that you're making your vision a reality. Once you have your vision energy and your strategy energy aligned and turned on, then the communication energy comes into play. And that's where you are authentically spreading your vision and strategy out into the world, getting people on board, getting people to lock arms with you to support an idea or a plan that you have, whether that's personal or professional. And communication can be challenging because we're always interacting with people that aren't like you, that don't like you, you don't like. I always whisper that because we don't ever like to admit that those are actual realities in our life, but they are. And so it's that communication energy is really, really important. Next, we have relationship energy, and that's making sure you surround yourself with the right people that can help you make your vision and strategy real, that just are really right there with you when you're communicating, and that you're also having boundaries around the energy vampires, the triggers, the people that pull you down, the non-supporters. And those people are often in your families, in your friend groups, in your workplaces. So you really need to be aware of when they're around so that you can ensure you're still moving forward even when those people are around. So that's where relationship energy becomes really important, both for the supporters and the non-supporters. Once you have your vision energy, your strategy energy, and your plan, you're communicating it out to the world, you've got your relationships really set up how you want, then you need to tap into your internal confidence energy. And that's knowing your superpowers, using them, having the courage to say, I know that I've got the goods to make this happen and I'm going to go for it. So that's what confidence energy is. Creativity energy is having fun along the way, having that creative spark, having passion in your day. Because when you're using fun to drive your day rather than stress to drive your day, it changes the way your brain and your body are functioning, both at a physiological level and at a mental and emotional level. So we want to be sure that fun is at the top of your priority list, and creativity and innovation and different broad thinking is at the top of the list, rather than moving to the bottom of your priority list, which is usually where those things fall. The fun stuff almost always falls to that bottom of that to-do list when things get overwhelming. So we want to flip that psychology. Finally, we have motivation energy. And motivation energy, that's that inner energy to be able to kick your own butt, to be able to say, I got this, I can do this, I've got the motivation and to make my plan happen, and I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm willing to make the sacrifices to actually move forward with what I want and what's most important to me. So as you can see, those 7 energies, they work together to create flow, which is why it's called the flow formula. So every day I think about my 7 energies. I'm always aware of where I'm at on the 7. I have an assessment that I've mentioned in past episodes. You've seen me talk about it. Sometimes we do it during my keynotes, but the 7 energies assessment helps you identify which of those 7 energies are blocked, neutral, or flowing. There's always a link to that in somewhere in all of my stuff. So go look for that. It's just on my website at kristenbrownpresents.com. But this week, we're going to think about confidence energy, because confidence energy is really when you can have your superpowers turned on. That's when you're going to be powered up and ready to take action, even when you're scared, even when you're anxious, even when you're worried, even when you have no idea how you're going to make something happen. So that's our plan today. Now, before we jump into that, let's check in to last week, because I also want to get you into the habit of reviewing when you don't take action. Because when you can start to notice your habits, when you can start to notice your patterns, when you don't do the things that you want, that is a huge aha. That will wake up so much motivation in you, because knowing it allows you to take action before it becomes too bad, before it actually comes and blocks you. So let's think about last week. Last week, we talked about relationship energy. And I had you identify your top priority for last week, and then identify a couple of people that could help you make that priority actually happen. And not just identify them, but commit to reaching out to them last week to say, hey, I need your help. Can you help me make this project, this idea, this decision, this plan, whatever it was that your top priority was for last week, make it happen faster, more fun, or easier. So if you joined me last week, did you do that? Did you take that little action step? If you did you celebrate it? How did it feel when you made that progress? If you didn't do it, why didn't you do it? What made that sacrifice, that little step to actually put a little effort in, what made that too hard, made it too big, made it not attractive enough for you to want to do that? Because when you can start to notice those energy dynamics and those emotional dynamics of attachment or detachment from an action step, huge, huge, huge aha that will help drive you forward. So that's your reflection on last week. Now let's think forward to this week. What would be something that would absolutely move the needle, drive you forward, and you would feel so, so good if you got it done this week? When you think about it, does it ladder up to your big buckets of goals? Like I have my 4 big areas. Everything that I do on my to-do list needs to ladder up to those in some way. So think about yours for this week. What's your one thing that could help move something forward? Maybe not complete it, but really make some true effort and progress on something that you've been wanting to make happen. So I want you to write it down. I want you to actually take your number 1 priority for this week, write it down, because when you do that, it doesn't become just something that's woo-woo out here. You commit to it. It becomes concrete. It's something that you're putting on your to-do list, on your commitment list, on your task list. You're going to take responsibility for making it happen this week, just like you do meetings, just like you do appointments, just like you would do with your kids or for other people. This is a commitment you're making to yourself. So write down your 1 priority. Then I want you to think about your confidence, the confidence energy that you bring to tasks into your life, because oftentimes we're plagued by negative self-talk that can shut down our confidence, that can make us not want to take action, that can make us not want to go on that date, or not go after that new job, or not go after that new client, or not do that next big thing because we don't feel confident enough, whether it's in skills, abilities, age, attractiveness, skill level. All kinds of things can shut down our ability to move forward and shut down that confidence energy and block us from those things that we really want. So we want to be clear and very, very open-minded about being honest with ourselves and how that negative self-talk is impacting you, and flip it. And it's not easy. It takes practice, but flipping the self-talk to instead saying, I've got this. I know what I'm good at. I know that this skill will help me. So I want you right now to think about your one priority for the week. And think about your own awesome superpowers, the things that you know you're good at, whether you're a great listener, a great parent, you're really motivated, you're driven, you're smart with money, whatever it happens to be. We've all got hundreds and hundreds of gifts and superpowers. I want you to identify three superpowers that you can use this week to make that one priority happen. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you have a goal to get to the gym 3 times this week, but maybe in the past you've been sabotaged a little bit because maybe you've been too busy or too lazy, or you just didn't feel like it. So what are the superpowers that can flip those negative emotions and flip you to saying, I got this? Is it that you're driven? Is it that you've got the time, that you've paid the money for the gym membership fee? So let's make this happen because you're committed to it that way financially. What are your 3 superpowers that will drive your priority forward for you to take action this week? And I want you to write those confidence energies, those superpowers down right underneath the top priority that you wrote down. Okay. Okay, so you've got your priority, you've got your energy hack, which is your superpowers. I've got one more little bonus for you today. I'm actually very rarely a one-on-one coach. I just don't have the bandwidth. But so many people have come to me lately and said, hey, I just need a little support, a little accountability, some clarity. So I'm busting out my favorite coaching program that I've ever had. It's the Breakthrough Results Program. And it's so easy because it's 3 sessions with some check-ins in between. It's all virtual. The first session, we get really clear on what you want. What are the detailed things that need to happen to make that happen? The second session is looking at your life now and looking at what doesn't ladder up to that so you can minimize the things that don't flow. And then the final session is just solidifying the plan, the path, the momentum that you're going to create by knowing these things and getting really clear on them. We'll use your 7 energies. We'll use this flow formula to ensure that you're all aligned on your big buckets and the little things that fall under it, and that you have a plan for when you start to go off track, and a plan to stay on track and go faster down your track. So my Breakthrough Results coaching program, super easy. I'll put a link to it, but it's $500 off just this week. I don't have a total bandwidth to do a ton of them. So by the end of this week, I'm going to close it down, but it's a really great way for you to get clarity for Q4 and to get ready for 2025 as well. So that's another little bonus energy hack I have for you today. Now, as always, let's end this with your momentum mantra, because we checked in on last week. You got clear on your priority for this week. We talked about your superpowers that are going to help you make your priority happen faster, because your superpowers and your gifts can help you make that happen. Now, here is your momentum mantra to help you all week long. I want you to screenshot this. I am unstoppable when I believe in myself. I am unstoppable when I believe in myself. Screenshot it, write it down. I'll post it on social on Wednesday. But this saying, if you can repeat it to yourself, this momentum mantra, I'm unstoppable when I believe in myself, it creates neural pathways in your brain, like a vision board, like power stones, like any sort of visual cues do, to have your brain look for opportunities for this to be real. I am unstoppable when I believe in myself. And you are, because you have thousands of superpowers that can help drive you forward on your goals, your small goals, your huge tasks, your big visions for your life. And you've got this. You've 100% got this. So I can't wait to see you next week. I want to see how you've used your confidence, energy, and your superpowers to make your priorities real this week. So get out there and energize to rise.